Welcome to my channel. I've been asked to react to Ren's Dear God, and I couldn't find, the only video I could find was an official lyric video, so I assume this is not the same as the actual video, but I'm going to react to this because I couldn't find a video that didn't have lyrics. So I apologize for that. But before I get started on this, I have to thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for liking, for sharing, for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. You just have no idea how much I appreciate it. It blows my mind. I said it a million times, but it's true. It's true. It blows my mind. I can't believe that over 1,800 people want to hear what I have to say, and yet there it is. So, without further ado, let's watch Ren Dear God.
Hello. It's Ren. I don't really know how to start this letter. Oh, fuck it. Is this life really what it seems? Cause lately I've been in this place between awake and dreams. I know I only reach out to you when I'm feeling blue. I promise I'm not using you, I'm just confused. I've got some questions I would like some answers to. Like, is there meaning to this state of short existence? My existential thoughts show hope there are, cause I'm resistant to thinking that there won't be something better in the distance. And God, is there an afterlife where pain is non-existent? If you're
Well, this is kind of the universal thing for people, isn't it?
Rob that God, do you sit upon a throne or are you?
Sorry. This is what many humans at some point in their life arrive at. That point where they start questioning. Do you exist? And if you do, why are things the way they are? And what's going on?
A humble soul wearing sandals and tattered clothes. Do you mingle with the people like an equal? Then on Sundays just kick back and chill and put your feet up. Did I really choose this life that I'm living now? Will my sins be forgiven if I speak them out? I won't lie to you, God, if there is a heaven, I really hope I get there, cause for real it sounds like heaven. Reading past the lines, I just let go. Searching for prophets, my faith it is paper thin. So many questions in my mind, they replay like an echo. They never stop, my Messiah is porcelain. Dear God, why do people kill each other in your name? Is it really what you want, or have we lost our way? Cause it seems like religion can cause division, or people living in prisons of moral values they're given. What is right and what is wrong? Am I a sinner if I don't comply with everything that Moses said, or is that dumb? And why do people disguise hatred in your name? Homophobia?
Okay. At this point, I had to stop and say something. For me personally, I distinguish between a belief in God and religion, because religion is man-made. Now, I know some of you are going to go, but so is the Bible. But that's a discussion for another day. But there's a reason I don't go to church, and yet I believe in God. And that's because I haven't found a church yet that was focused on the things that, for me, matter when it comes to God. Daily communion with God. Daily supplication. Daily interaction with God. Most of the churches that I'm familiar with, and I've been to a few, are what's the word I want to use? They have bastardized the Bible. They've turned it into a book of rules, when Jesus Christ came and said that the entire law is summed up in one thing. And yet, there's this thing inside of men that all too often makes them want to tell other people how to live their lives and to tell other people what's wrong with them. Even though Jesus Christ said, stop looking at the mite in the other guy's eye and look at the mote in your own. And yet somehow that message doesn't get through. And so far too often, religion is used as a hammer to drive people into a box that makes the people driving them comfortable. And that is not God. That is not godly. That is human beings taking God's word and turning it into something that it's not. Now I can hear the people, with the so-called religious right, the so-called fundamentalists, going, "Oh no, brother, you're wrong." But I can tell you from personal experience, no, I'm not. Because I talk to God and I've interacted with God, and God has shown me things that it's impossible for any other explanation to be made of it than that it was God. I talk about that in a video, which I'll go ahead and put the link in. You can watch it if you want, if you're interested in finding out my story. But I mentioned this in another video. We have a lesbian couple that lives next door to us. They have 2 children. They got those children through in vitro fertilization. They're beautiful kids. They're raising them to be very good human beings. And my wife and I both love those girls. We give them things constantly. We send them gifts. We celebrate their birthdays. Do I think what they're doing is wrong according to the Bible? Yeah. But am I going to sit here and tell them that? No. Far too many people who get involved in religion want to use it as a cudgel on other people instead of on a cudgel on themselves. The only person you should be working on and making better is you. It's my hope and my prayer that my life, the way that I live my life, will be an example to others, and that example will inspire them to do better in their lives. But I'm not going to sit here and tell them, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to stop doing this, you need to stop doing that. That is devilish. Yeah, I said it. It's devilish. And far too many of the preachers of the gospel are devilish. If you're interested, read what Thomas Jefferson said about the preachers. They enslave people. Only God can free you, not a man. I could go on and on, but I need to get back to this video.
A history of violent wars and causing pain. High priests in the tower stacking riches. Women burnt at the stakes called witches. In the name of God, Allah, Zeus, Jesus. People claiming lives justified by your allegiance. I think it's more complex than good versus evil. I think that there's both darkness and light inside people. Through different eyes, a man called a terrorist could be a freedom fighter if he's fighting for the side you're with. Reading past the lines, I just let go. fishing for profits, my faith it is paper thin. So many questions in my mind, they replay like an echo. They never stop, my Messiah is porcelain.
So is it ignorant to claim that we know what you want? And if I fast for the Sabbath, is that what you want? Or is tradition just superstition, religion, a human vision just crafted out of people's ambition? Listen, I knew a girl that lost a baby before it was born. What's the purpose of that, God? What is it for? Why did my best friends die before I hit 25? Is it because there's something better in the afterlife? God, I've been...
Yeah. No. No, your best friend didn't die because there's something better in the afterlife. And God doesn't kill people. Wow. Man.
Feeling suicidal lately. Mental health is worsening. It feels like it might break me. If you're watching, you know that I've been strong. But God, how much longer do I have to hold on? Please just give me some solace, so that I know you've got my back. Please just give me some relief. God, is that too much to ask?
Nope. It's not too much to ask. I feel I sometimes feel very bad for Ren because of what he's been through and what he continues to go through. And I think so many thoughts. Is God testing him? No, I don't think that's true at all. I think it's the devil that's testing him to see what mettle he has. And he clearly has a lot of it. But we've gotten so far away from God in the world in general, not specific people, but just overall. We've gotten so far away from God that we can't even smell him anymore. My son-in-law actually said this recently. Who changes water into wine anymore? Who raises people from the dead? It's a good point. Because Jesus Christ said, the works that I do shall you do also, and greater works shall you do, because I go to my Father. Well, Jesus Christ turned water into wine, and Jesus Christ raised people from the dead, and so did his apostles. Yet we don't see that very much anymore. Why? Because the devil's had 2,000 years to pollute the world, to convince us that God doesn't even exist anymore, to convince us that we're all on our own. Nobody's coming to save us. It's not true, but you have to believe it's not true. And if you use your five senses, your sight, your hearing, your touch, your taste, your smell, if you use your five senses to try and figure out what's going on, all you're going to see is destruction and death and futility. That's why you have to get the Spirit inside of you by being born again, so that you can see from the other side, so you can see what's really going on. Because when Lucifer fell from heaven, he took a third of the angels with him. What do you think those angels are doing? They're called devil spirits now. But they are spirits, and they have power. They can convince you to commit suicide. They can convince you to commit murder. They can convince you to rape people. They can convince you of a lot of things if you listen. If you're interested in this subject, and I know some of you aren't, you don't want to hear it, and that's fine. I don't care. I mean, that's your life. You get to live it the way you want. But if you're interested, there's a book that I highly recommend by a man named Raphael Gasson titled The Challenging Counterfeit. He talks about his life in the occult and what he went through to get out of it. And if that doesn't convince you that there are devil spirits in the world working to harm people and to cause people to not only be harmed but also to harm others, then I don't think anything will. The Challenging Counterfeit. I'm sure you can get it on Amazon. If not, surely a local library will have it, or you'll be able to find it online. I don't know. It's been a long time since I read the book, but I still remember the details of it. It's what Ren expresses in this is universal. It's every man's cry. And whether you get answers or not is entirely up to you. You're the one who has to ask them. You're the one who has to ask for the answers. And you're the one who has to expect for them to come. And if you don't, you don't. If you do, you do. It's your life. Again, I'm not here to preach to you. I'm just here to tell you about me and about my beliefs, and to listen to good music, have fellowship with people that want to comment. If you want to, I mean, it's on the internet, okay, we're not really having fellowship, but I kind of consider it that way. Some of you I have gotten to know a little bit, and I like you. I like what you think, and I like your comments, and I like what your responses are. Good, bad, or indifferent. I mean, I've had some of you tell me that you don't believe what I believe. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's your life. You get to do it the way you want. You only get one of them, and you have to decide what you want to do with it. Again, I could go on and on, but I need to stop. I really do. I don't want to get preachy. So for you, my viewers, those of you who watch this video, I pray that you will be abundant, that you'll live a long life, and that you'll be healthy, and that God will keep you safe from harm. And you can't stop me from praying that, even if you'd like to. Okay? I pray you'll do the same for the people that you love. And also pray that you'll be anxious for nothing, but in all things, through prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, you'll make your requests known to God. And the peace that passes all understanding will keep your heart and mind in Christ Jesus. This is the Vietnam Era Vet, out.